Oh, yeah. Good morning, all of you beautiful nerds. What is up, man? Hope you guys doing well. Man, people are already mad. Why you guys so mad? Can't we just be chill? Can't we all just be chill about this? You know what I mean? Like, dude, I personally think, I mean, if you think about Acolyte right now, which first of all, like, I wanted to literally get like a clown nose and a clown mask because, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this. Okay, so you let me know. But I felt like a clown as I got back from the gym yesterday, and I was like, I guess I'll watch the new Acolyte episode. I mean, look, you know, they killed Star Wars. They ruined it all. It's all over forever, no matter what. But also, like, I guess they got me, man. You know what I mean? I guess they got me. Because I still gotta watch it. And I gotta say, I think a lot of people watched it. I don't know. I mean, I guess some people just have fun at this point watching it and like making fun of it and dunking on it and stuff like that, right? I don't feel like that. I feel like I'm in an abusive relationship. I feel like I can't quit Star Wars. God damn it! I mean, God damn it! So, look, we're going to talk about it. We'll talk a little bit about Acolyte. But look, let me just, like, walk with me on this one. Walk with me on this for a little bit here. If I'm thinking about Acolyte so far, okay? You got, like, first episode, like, 6, maybe 7, you know, if you're being generous. Second episode, 7 or 8 for me, which is weird. I saw some people like episode 2 less. Episode 2 is my favorite episode. I think it's the best episode. Episode 3 is an abomination. Episode 4 is just like, it's, you know, it's probably around that 6, maybe 5 kind of a level, you know? So I don't know. I mean, if you're grading on a curve here, I don't know. I think the show's just mid at this point. Not like the worst thing ever, but then again, you have to factor in episode 3. Like, episode 3 is so bad. And this one, oh my God, here we go. I'm just gonna go on a tirade about it. But look, we're gonna talk about it. I was trying to actually make a joke about how 3 of the episodes have been good and the 4th one's bad, so maybe it's a good show. But I couldn't even bring myself to lie like that. Damn it. So we'll get into it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about Acolyte. And then I want to talk about House of the Dragon because yesterday a couple of different reports came out, and it kind of seems like what you have going on with HBO or Max or whatever, House of the Dragon people and Samba is like a weird combating of these numbers. And it kind of seems like Samba not very good. And it's like Samba put something out and the studio has to put something out to try to discredit it or whatnot. But later in the day, after the Samba report came out, it did come out in the Hollywood trades that the season 2 premiere was down. It was down. And so I want to talk about that. I want to kind of explore why, because it's weird, right? Like when Mando season 3 came out, we were, at least I was shocked that it was 30% viewership down, like compared to season 2. And I thought that was significant, right? Like we talked about that. We were like, damn, like that's a bad data point. Like that's not good. And I think 30% down is bad. House the Dragon, from what it seems, we're not 100% sure, but from what it seems, you're looking at 22% down, maybe 25 or something like that. So I still think it's not good. And I wanted to explore it and figure out what is going on. Because, you know, as we talked about on Monday, and as they point out in this Forbes article, dude, you're talking about a show that got to the point where it was doing 29 million viewers. That's insane. That's insane. So, yeah, a couple of things I want to get into. There's some Marvel stuff. We can talk about the Russo brothers a little bit. I'm not sure that actually means anything, but goddamn, do I want the Russo brothers back really badly. And so I actually hope it's real, and I hope it's like the first of something that gets uncovered, and then all of a sudden they're working with the Russos again. But I'm not really sure about it. I did put out in a video yesterday, I think it's kind of interesting, the last couple of times that we saw the Russos do interviews around the Secret Wars and the Marvel thing, some of the articles that are out there, like, I thought it was really interesting that when I was doing research yesterday, there was a Wall Street Journal article that came out and essentially talked about how the Russo brothers, their thing with Marvel that they were negotiating, fell apart in part because of the Scarlett Johansson thing. It was a big article. I remember talking about it at the time. Yesterday, when I went to find that article, it was not out there. I couldn't find it. I found other articles that referenced it, but I couldn't find that article specifically, which is kind of sus. And it kind of seems to me like, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, is that the whole reason that the Russos aren't coming back? I don't know. But I hate it, and I want them to come back. So we'll talk about that. No one cares about Marvel? I would say the amount of people that care about Marvel is a lot. I would say it's more than the people that care about Star Wars right now, for sure. But I will also say that right now with Marvel, here's how I would describe it. The vibes. Okay, let's just go on vibes. Let's go on vibes when it comes to Marvel and Star Wars. Here's I think the truth of the fandoms as they currently stand. And I get to decide this. So here's what it is. Hang on. Here's what I would say. I view the Marvel fandom as this massive kind of fandom in waiting, meaning like most of the Marvel fandom right now is just disengaged. I don't think there's a lot of people actively like watching Marvel or talking about Marvel that's trying to just shit on it or say it's like completely over. A little bit because there's like nothing going on with Marvel right now. Like a lot of stuff's being, kept behind the scenes. And I think we will have some stuff revealed either at San Diego Comic-Con or D23. Like Marvel's in this huge pivot right now. You've got Deadpool and Wolverine. And Deadpool and Wolverine is like everybody's going to go see that and they're excited about it. The question about Deadpool and Wolverine is, will it actually right the ship? Will it actually fix Marvel? And I think, it's a fair question. So that's like kind of how I view the Marvel fandom. It's like Marvel fandom's ready to go, but also kind of just sitting back, kind of waiting. You know what I mean? We just came off of X-Men 97, which was a true high point for the fandom. And we're excited about like future stuff, but there's really like not much going on with Marvel right now, right? Star Wars, on the other hand, there's actually a lot of attention and energy and passion that's being shared within the Star Wars community. And like, a lot of it has to do with Acolyte. And I think the Star Wars fandom it's obviously split, but I would argue the majority of what used to make up the Star Wars fandom has like completely turned against Star Wars. So much so that, even when it comes to a show like Acolyte, which I do think is pretty unremarkable and like just not as good as I thought it was going to be at all, and had an abomination of a third episode. But there's stuff like, we're going to get into like the Ki-Adi-Mundi thing, the pronoun thing with the gerbil beaver guy. And it's like, I mean, I get it. Like, am I pumped that they are getting the Ki-Adi-Mundi thing wrong? No. Do I really care? No. Like, I'm sorry. I just don't. Like, I guess that's where I'm at as a fan. But I say all that to say I think the Star Wars fandom, like, people really care about Star Wars, but, like, in a negative way mostly. Like, the reputation of Disney Lucasfilm, that whole relationship is as low as it could possibly be, you know? So that's kind of like the difference that I think of the two fandoms. You know, obviously Marvel is not, it's not like Marvel's on top of the world right now. It's not like Marvel is crushing it. Marvel has obviously had Phase 4 and the beginning of Phase 5, and it feels like it's completely off the rails. But for various reasons, I don't think the Marvel fandom is anywhere near as bad right now as the Star Wars fandom. But I think it could be fair to say that the Marvel fandom is a little checked out right now. Like, interest is kind of down. You know what I mean? Harley says, Acolyte is terrible. It's like a low-effort YouTube channel putting out /skits. Yeah. Yeah, Acolyte's pretty bad. Should we get into Acolyte, talk about it a little bit? The power of many. Yeah. The power of many things that don't make any goddamn sense. That's what I would say when it comes to Acolyte episode 4 specifically. Okay. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about it. No, look, we're just gonna talk about it briefly. You know what I mean? We're not gonna dedicate the whole stream to it, but I will talk about it a little bit. Man, I thought this episode was super boring. First of all, you know, and yesterday I kind of had like an existential crisis of like whether or not I actually wanted to watch the show. And again, I kind of realized I'm a sucker, and I still want to watch the episodes and see how it goes. I still like lightsabers. I still like Jedi. And it's like, like, I guess I'll watch it and be a part of the conversation, which is, again, mostly super negative. So I didn't even know if I wanted to watch it. And, you know, I was at the gym. I came back late. I think I started at like 9:20, 9:30. And, bro, I had to keep asking Elisa, like, there was the scene with the Jedi leader person, and that's like where Ki-Adi-Mundi was. And I guess Plo was in that episode too. Plo Koon, did people see him? So I like literally after that scene, I was like, I for whatever reason, I checked out so hard, dude. Like whenever the bald green lady came in and she started talking, like it sounded like Peanuts. Like the old Charlie Brown shit, like wop 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 wop. And I was literally after that shit, I was like, wait a minute, sweetie, can you just tell me like what did they just say? Because I've zoned out that, and I found myself doing that several times in the episode. Like I find it to be so uncompelling and so boring that like it's almost like background entertainment. That's just honestly how I feel about it, right? There was some stuff I was kind of jiving with. Like, I kind of continue to like Yord. Like, I know people hate that dude, but I like Yord. I kind of like what he was saying. To the one sister. Soul continues to be cool. That guy actually, like, really brings it in every scene. Like, his performance is really great. And then, like, you get to... You're sort of following the one sister on the planet with the Wookiee, and then the other sister and the Jedi show up there to get her and stuff, right? And it's just... For, you know, it's... To me, and I was thinking about this after I watched the episode. Like, I don't know, man. Like, as much as I thought this show was maybe going to break new ground or do something cool or, like, expand on Star Wars, because... You know, I think one of the things that happens in Star Wars, and this is why shows like Andor, I think resonate with certain people, and Acolyte was maybe, you know, set up to resonate with people, is because Star Wars does need to sort of find a way to do its own thing. Go forward, not completely rely on nostalgia, not just be a copy of what came before, but like to do something fresh and to move forward with the story, right? I think fans want that, but they also want like lightsabers, the Force, and like nostalgic stuff like that. So I think Andor kind of misses the mark, even though it is attempting to do new and fresh and different when it comes to Star Wars. For as much as like Acolyte was reportedly something like that, it feels so paint by numbers Star Wars to me. Like even the scene where they're in the forest and the creature thing attacks and Soul just goes like, I have him, and cuts the thing in half. Like I don't know. That just, it didn't, I didn't feel anything. Like, I didn't feel anything. And that sucks, because, like, I should be excited about, like, a Jedi using his lightsaber and being cool. And it's, like, so mundane, paint by numbers. Doesn't feel special at all. You know? And then, you have the weirdest turn that I've seen in a long time. Which, like, if somebody could explain this to me with, like, nuance or be like, oh, well, actually, this, you know, here's what's going on there. I'd love to know, because from what I saw, May just completely flips. She goes from being full on riding with the Sith homie to having this epiphany, which I don't understand it, bro. Like, I do not understand it. Like, that flip was crazy. Hey, Coop the Comedian, thanks for the 5 gifted, baby. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. So I'm like, okay, that, but here's the other thing. Like, the show, dude, it's so weird. This has been the weirdest experience of watching a Star Wars show ever for me personally. I'm sure other people are feeling this too. The turn was so bad, and it just functionally makes no sense as the writing. But I almost feel like I'm so disengaged from the show itself that I didn't care. Like, there's a level of, like, I think I really do sort of flip myself between apathy to, like, oh, okay, that could actually be interesting, like, back to apathy. And it's why, like, you know, the gerbil dude pronouns, like, I'm sorry, like, it just really doesn't bother me. I don't care, because I don't care enough about the show to really think of it like Star Wars, so I can't really get that mad, you know what I mean? Especially after last week. Like, I felt like last week was sort of this mourning process, and this thing where you kind of, like, see the show for what it is, I think, in episode 3, or what, you know, Leslie wants it to be. So, like, this week specifically, there was no way it was going to be as bad. And I saw people, Lord Jon Snow, welcome to the Nerd Vengers, man. You are a Nerd Venger now. There was no way this episode was going to be as bad as last week. Like, that, there's just no way, right? And then there were people saying it was going to be controversial. I do wonder what they were talking about. Because I think the only thing that's controversial about the episode is, like, the massive cliffhanger and the fact that it's just not a good episode. Do you know what I mean? JB, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'll touch on that in just a second. So, you know, I'm watching it and I'm kind of like apathy, and then that doesn't make sense. Oh, that's kind of cool. Like, I thought the things that Yord was saying to Osha was, like, good. I was like, this is good Jedi shit. Like, dude, yeah, I like that. You know, in Soul, and I'm like, yeah, no, I like what's going on here. Then, like, you get to the end, and look, you kill the Wookiee off screen. That kind of sucks, right? And that's weird. And, dude, I will say this. Hey, Coop the Comedian! Welcome to the Nerd Vengers, baby. You are a Nerd Venger. Now, by the way, little ADD moment. We will be continuing for members only tonight at 7:30. We're going to be continuing our deep dive on Wolverine. And I think tonight's stream is going to be fan-freaking-tastic. We've actually been going through Benny, the comic historian. May he rest in peace. Fucking legend. We've been going through his Wolverine playlist and, like, reacting to it and just becoming immersed in the character of Wolverine. After tonight, I feel like we're going to know so much more shit about the Wolverine character. So I hope to see some of the new members there tonight at 7:30. But look, I want to say one thing that this episode did that was actually really cool. And I'm sure a lot of you, look, I think even the most hatery of hater people have to admit that the entrance of that Sith guy was pretty fucking cool, dude. He looked almost like a specter, the way he, like, floated down. Gorgon's like, nah, man, this show is awful. I won't admit shit. I thought that was cool. The float down, Harley. Yes, I thought the float down was super cool. Like, I'll be real. I was like, damn, that's kind of spooky. You know, I dig it. And then the show just kind of ends. It was also cool how he, like, flicked her out of the way and then, like, attacks all the Jedi and stuff. So there is a part of me, Scary Poppins. Yeah, he was kind of like Scary Poppins, huh? there was a part of me that thinks, hey man, if they do way more of that and like really dial that up, hey, like we could get some cool Sith stuff at the end of this show. I mean, I don't know if Acolyte can recover. Do you guys realize we're halfway through this show? Smilo Ren. I liked Smilo Ren. I liked Smilo Ren. Don't worry, we're gonna argue about it. I'm sure everybody thinks I'm wrong about everything, but we'll argue about it in a second. We're halfway through this show, dude. And I just think, like, objectively, it's a bad halfway point, bro. You know what else, too? If you really didn't like Ahsoka, but you've been watching Acolyte, I urge you to go back and watch Ahsoka. I'm going to rewatch Ahsoka. Because I feel like motherfuckers were way too hard on Ahsoka now that we've seen Acolyte. And I guess we've only seen half of Acolyte. But, dude, think about where we were at halfway through Ahsoka. Ahsoka was bad, dude? No, I disagree. I think Ahsoka is objectively better than Acolyte, which is weird because I actually felt like the writing in the first 2 episodes was more complex than Ahsoka, for sure. But, like, I strongly feel that Ahsoka is an objectively better show. Now, Ahsoka has problems. Ahsoka is not perfect. But I think Ahsoka is way better than the Acolyte. Like, way better. And, like, almost based on, like, Balin and Shin. And just the way that intrigue is caked into it. You know, you've got, obviously, like, Anakin shit. Crazy-ass shit with, like, Clone Wars flashbacks. World Between Worlds stuff. Like, dude, no. Ahsoka is way better than Acolyte, bro. Like, it's not even close. In my opinion, of course. And also, that's objective fact because it is my opinion. So, I've been kind of having that thought process where, like, I actually do want to go back and revisit Ahsoka. I feel like Ahsoka is going to feel even better, like more of a masterpiece than fucking Acolyte. Because, like, dude, it's just, like, so boring and so weird the way it's all laid out. Like, I really think, and I could be wrong, but I would love to know what was going on in production. Because, you know, this show kind of quietly shot for a couple of years and, you know, did a lot of stuff in post as well. I almost feel like this show must have been a disaster production. Because I feel like the first 2 episodes are decent enough and they present a strong mystery. But then, like, episode 3 is so weird. It's just like a total complete flashback episode that feels so weird, like juxtaposed against the other episodes. Then we jump back in. Like, this is not a good flow. This feels all over the place. It doesn't, like, and I really thought at the very least, like, my honest opinion before we went into Acolyte, right, before I saw anything, was I was like, I bet this is going to be a really competently made show that's, you know, objectively, like, tight, kind of like Andor, with, like, cinematography, writing, like, those aspects. I thought it would be tight. I just always thought it was going to do some shit that was going to piss off Star Wars fans and maybe do some shit that, for me, kind of killed the fun, right? And I got to tell you, that does not, I do not think that's what's happening. Like, it does not feel like this really well-crafted show. Like, even certain shots and scene, like, it just feels, like they didn't quite get there. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think ultimately that's probably my, I mean, apart from episode 3 and just some of the choices, that would be my main gripe with the show is, like, it's kind of unremarkable. And I really thought they were going to do more. And maybe they will do more. Like, maybe the strategy was to save everything for the back half, which I, again, find to be a terrible strategy. Like, that is a terrible idea. But it is possible. Because, like, let me ask you this. Where is the $180 million? Like, what? There has to be, because we haven't seen a space battle, right? We've seen one, I guess the one scene where the prison ship was like crashing and stuff, right? We have seen one decent fight, which I think was in episode 2 with May and Soul. There ain't shit in episode 3 as far as visual effects and stuff. I mean, I guess there's like the little power, like glowy thing that she does, but like, come on, man, that can't be. Like, where is the $180 million? I do not understand. Yeah, it's certainly. People are like, in Leslie's pocketbooks. Like, no, guys, like, that's not how this shit happens. Like, that. I'm sure she was paid well for doing this. But that's not how this happens. It's not, like, let's not get crazy. I basically think they just use the budget badly. You know, it's crazy to think that on average, I saw this pop up. I think I shared it on Twitter last week. You guys see Godzilla -1? You know what I mean? Like, Godzilla -1, pretty cool. A lot of Godzilla shit. Lot of action. Lot of visual effects. Every single episode of Acolyte cost 2 times the budget of that whole movie to make. Like, that is wild, bro. Now, they don't, like, that's not exactly how it works, right? So maybe there's crazy shit coming in the back half. There has to be, right? Like, there has to be. And you would assume this Sith homie is just going to kill everybody and, like, take the girls or something, right? Right? That's got to be what happens next, huh? So, they better have some fire-ass stuff at the end. And I think, for me, at this point, I don't know if there's any way they could, like, quote-unquote, save the show and make it, like, something that I would defend. Because here's the other thing that's fun, is obviously everybody hates Acolyte. Well, not everybody, but like let's be real. Like 90% of people out there hate this show. I would have been totally comfortable being within the 10%. If I legitimately thought the show was good, I would have defended it for being good. You know, which honestly would have been fun for me. I kind of like stirring the pot, you know, being a little controversial. And I like arguing with chat. It's like one of my favorite things. So it would have been really cool. Like, I would have loved it, bro. I would have joked about having shill checks the whole time. I would have defended it. I would have, you know, I would have barked at some people on Twitter. It would have been great. It's not, I can't defend it. It's like, it's no bueno. It's no bueno, in my opinion. Yeah. Dennis Shills. Exactly, man. I wish. It's sad. It's sad, man. Talk about Quamir. Oh, yeah, okay. So we can talk a little bit about let me talk about like the actual plot a little bit. We can talk about what we think is happening. And then I'll catch up on chats. I'll see what people are arguing about and whatnot. So yeah, it's obviously the Asian guy that's the Sith Lord, right? And people have been on this since like episode 2, I think. What's the character called? Chimere? What's his name? How do I pronounce that name? Yeah, so he's obviously the Sith homie, right? Now, I will say Chimere. Okay, Chimere, gotcha. I think that's fine. Like, the Sith seems really cool. He seems powerful. I would love it, and I hope this is the way that it is. I think what's going to happen is that Sith guy is going to kill all those Jedi. I hope this is what happens. Kills Yord, kills the little X-93 chick, like literally slaughters them all and leaves Soul alive, and then makes May kill Soul, or makes the sisters kill Soul or something like that. Like, that's what I'm hoping happens. And then I'm hoping that, like, the sisters get brought into some kind of Sith thing, and we maybe even see... Because I guess the question is, right? Because this guy is not a character that we've known of. That's not Palpatine. That's not Plagueis. That's not Tenebris. That's not any Sith that we actually know of. Right? So he's either an offshoot Sith, or he's the lackey of another Sith. Because the Sith did this thing where, you know, it's only supposed to be 2, but like every single one had like a secret apprentice, and it was there were actually more than 2, even in the rule of 2. I mean, literally Ventress is the secret apprentice of Dooku, and it's not even a secret, right? So this guy could be the apprentice of somebody, you know, this, that, second, and third. And I think the Green Lady at one point talks about like a shift, right? And so this could be like some Sith or some Dark Jedi that wants to corrupt the Jedi Order. I personally hope it is associated with Plagueis. Like, this would be kind of lit, right? If Plagueis is involved with this Sith dude, maybe that would mean this guy has to die, and all the Jedi that knew about him would have to die, so that Ki-Adi-Mundi, when he's actually born later on, can like say that line and all that stuff, right? So maybe this guy is associated with Plagueis, and he was an apprentice that we just didn't know Plagueis had. And then was trying to corrupt the Jedi via this guy. And, you know, maybe they'll be like, okay, Plagueis learned from the witches how to create life, and that's Anakin and shit like that. I don't know. That would be horrible, but it seems like they could go that way as well. There's also, like, I wouldn't be mad if this connected to, like, the Sith that are outside of the galaxy, right? So we know in Rise of Skywalker and during that whole time, what was the planet out there that they kind of made up that had Palpatine on it? I forget even the name of the planet now, but that world had a bunch of Sith acolytes. Exegol, thank you. That planet had a bunch of Sith acolytes. I believe that's what they're called in that movie and in the material around that movie. Like, they literally refer to them as acolytes, I believe. So maybe there were like more Sith that were active outside of the galaxy or something like that. Yeah, so maybe that's what's going on. Maybe they'll connect it to that. Because we're halfway through the sort of Sith show, and we've just seen this. How much screen time has this Sith guy had? How much Sith time has Smilo Ren had? Like less than 2 minutes, I think. Unless you count his alter ego, right? Yeah. So, like, come on, man. Like, we need more of that, and we need to know what's going on with that. So I hope that's something we get. And nobody's seen episode 5. You know what I mean? Nobody has seen episode 5 other than like people inside, you know, Lucasfilm. It is it hasn't been released to the press, so the last 4 episodes will come out, and everybody will see it for the first time. And yeah, I want to see. I want to see if it gets better, if there's actually Sith, if there's anything cool there. Because I guess for me, man, it's hard to tell for sure because we want to let the season finish. But I imagine if there's any impact on the legacy of Star Wars by Acolyte, maybe it just amounts to a few things they happen to do right in a whole pile of stuff that they did wrong. And if people can sort of learn and maybe do more of that or something, like, that's fine. I don't know. It's hard to say. People are super mad. I hope they don't do more of this show, because ultimately the show does feel a little like She-Hulk in the sense that I think it is directly going after like a new fan base and maybe a small fraction of what is the overall fan base. And it's also engaged in ideas and conversations that I think are literally meant to frustrate and ruffle feathers. And I just don't think that's how you manage a 4-quadrant IP, dude. Like, again, I feel like a broken record. I've been saying it for years. It's like a double tripling down of all the things that I think Kathleen Kennedy has done wrong. So I hope they don't make any more of it. But I guess from Lucasfilm's perspective, right? If people watch it, if it gets views, man, like, I mean, look, again, I called a bunch of people out because I didn't call anybody out by name, but I was calling out the perspective of like, this sucks, this is killing Star Wars is dead, and then just showing up again. And then I did it. I literally don't think it's good. And I'm showing up every week. I mean, does Star Wars do they just got me by the balls? Is there no way? Like, let me ask you guys. Have any of you actually ceased watching the show? Throw a 1 into the chat. Is there anybody in here that's actually stopped? Ah, man, I wish I could throw a 1 in there. I don't even believe you guys, by the way. Okay. Hang on a second. How about this? Throw a 2 into the chat if you threw a 1 into the chat before, but you were lying. I fucking knew it. Yeah, I knew it. That's just what it is now. That's just what it's become. And I don't like it. Man. Ugh. I wish, you know what? I wish I could do like a visual representation of what I feel like is happening with Acolyte, okay? Okay. Let me try to do it like this. Okay. This is a bag that you use to pick up your dog's poop. Here, I'll put this in here. Okay. Let's pretend that within this, there's all awesome Star Wars Sith stuff, okay? This is what I feel like Acolyte is doing. All you want to know, all you want to see, wait, hold on, some of this, hang on, take some of this, oh, wait, but come back, you want to see what it is? Do you want to see the cool stuff? Try some of that a little bit first. Hang on, whoa, I know you want it. You keep coming back for more, you little bitch. You keep coming back for more, you little bitch. Well, guess what? I mean, that's what it feels like. And I'm the sucker that keeps letting the dog shit hit on my face, and I'm like, where's the Sith stuff though? Please, Kathy, give me the Sith stuff. Please, I'll be a good boy. Just give me the Sith stuff. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. What the fuck? Hey, Darth, thanks for gifting 5 memberships, baby. Woo! Hell yeah. Appreciate you guys. Oh, hey, by the way, I'm gonna catch up on chats and we'll complain about Acolyte and Star Wars a little bit more. But let's get serious for a second. Guys, right now we are trying to get to 2,000 members. We're always driving for members around here, but I also wanted to mention, if you are this freaking guy, if you are Sushi Juice, hit me up, man. You won the $200 GameStop gift card. I'm going to shout you out today, try to get you to know about it, and I'm going to shout you out on Monday, or rather Friday. If you don't claim this gift card, then we're drawing another one on Monday, okay? And what that means for the rest of you is that if you are not this guy, you might want to become a member because, first of all, it's awesome, and it makes you stronger, faster, smarter, better in the sack. Results may vary, blah, 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 blah. But it's a really good, thing for you to do, and it supports the channel. But also, if Sushi Juice does not claim this gift card, you could win the $200 GameStop gift card. You could win it on Monday. You could become a member on Monday. You could become a member today, and then you get the $200 gift card, and then you'd be like, peace out, bitches, and then everyone will be really mad. But technically, it's within the rules. So I want you to just think about that. Like, wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be dope? And also, Sushi Juice, if you're out there, buddy, come on, man, hit me up. Okay. Also, how are you guys doing, man? We're gonna catch up on these chats and everything, but like, are y'all all right out there? Is everything okay? Everybody doing all right? I thought you were done with the show Acolyte, says Damage Control. Me too, buddy. Me too. Josh, have you addressed the Ki-Adi-Mundi being alive? I just joined. No, I haven't. I mean, I addressed it like this. Whatever. I mean, how mad are you guys about this? Are you guys really mad about Ki-Adi-Mundi? Look, here's the way I'll say it. It's hard for me to get mad about Ki-Adi-Mundi when the whole show seems so disrespectful to Star Wars that, like, shouldn't we just think of it as, like, non-canon? Like, this is like Secret Invasion. Like, sure, you could be mad about Gaia. Or we could just fucking ignore it and never bring it up again. You know? Like, that's kind of where I'm at. Is like, Secret Invasion? Secret what? Let's keep it a secret. And act like it never happened. Dude, Secret Invasion is so bad. That's why they're rebooting the MCU. Like, there's a lot of shit that went wrong with Marvel. But Secret Invasion is why they're going to reboot that shit. 100%. Like, it is an abomination. Is Secret Invasion worse than Acolyte? I don't know. They're pretty close. They're pretty close. Yeah. All right. Hey, Rossi, first in today with a nice rose. Hey, I appreciate it, brother. Much love, man. Jay Robin says, I was trying hard for Acolyte, but, and he spelled it with 2 T's, Ki-Adi-Mundi shouldn't be born. But there he is. It really is annoying that they don't care about lore at all. Okay, well, I guess now we have to talk about Ki-Adi-Mundi. Let's go to the polls. I'm really curious, like, because I gotta be, like, this feels... far be it from me to, like, question where some of y'all are actually at with some of this stuff, but, like, I guess I just want to know, how mad are you guys? How mad are you? How mad are you about I'm going to spell it like Audi. Mundi. I'm not even going to spell the dude's name right because I don't give a fuck about this dude. Okay, so hang on. Let's go. Very mad. Mad. Mildly irritated. And then I'm not mad. Screw that penis head looking mother. Ooka. Oh wait, okay. So I can't do that. Okay, we'll just say I'm not mad. Screw that guy. Okay, cool. Do you care about something like this in any other IP? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would, for sure. So, dude, this one's a tough one for me, because I just really don't care, right? But, like, I understand why you guys care. I guess out of curiosity, were you guys mad when Dave changed the Caleb Dune thing? Because Dave retcons a lot. He retconned the Ahsoka book. He retconned the comic book that talked about Kanan. And, you know, I've seen Dave talk about this in interviews, and his perspective on it is like, it's all just stories that are being told. It's a little bit like House of the Dragon, right? Where, like, that book is just different tellings. It's different account of what happened, and who knows what really happened. And I think that's kind of like what Dave's perspective is on, like, Star Wars, and, like, because it's all just a fairy tale that's being told each and every time. And I gotta say, like, I get that. My problem with that statement is when Disney eliminated the EU from canon, which I know there's gonna be like 14% of you that are like, actually, it was never canon, therefore Kathy could have never eliminated it for canon. And I get it. But when Kathy eliminated it from canon, she did it because there was supposed to be a value proposition for the new content. The new canon, or canon, was meant to make hardcore fans have the ability to engage in different books, comics, or whatever, and then have a more informed opinion and perspective on the world. This has sort of always been a Star Wars thing. So Star Wars comes out, the main canon is the movies, but the ancillary material was supposed to support the movies and give fans, like, more stuff to dig into. Right? This one is different than the Dave changes. This one, yeah, no, I mean, look, I saw somebody in chat say it's lazy. Oh, it's 100% lazy for sure. I do not think that this was done out of some cleverness or out of some desire to add more to the story. If you look at what Dave did with Tales of the Jedi, and even what Dave did with Clone Wars Season 7, we get more context that actually makes the original story even more impactful. Like, for instance, when we're on I think it's Mandalore in Season 7 of the Clone Wars, I'm pretty sure. When we're on Mandalore and you've got Darth Maul, or Maul at the time, and he finally sees the Emperor's plan, and he describes it to Ahsoka. And he talks about how Anakin is the linchpin to this whole thing, and he's going to be the thing that really helps the Emperor conquer everything. And Ahsoka just can't get past her love of Anakin to see that that is the case. It adds to the mythos of the whole thing. It actually, like, takes the feeling I already have established to that character in those moments and makes it more impactful, like puts another little thing on it. Tales of the Jedi does that too. We're all aware of what happens with Qui-Gon, but you get a little extra, like, oomph to it through the perspective of his master in Dooku. So I like that kind of stuff because it feels like it's lending itself to the legend and the myth, and it's taking what has already been established and just amplifying it, right? Acolyte's not doing that. I mean, Acolyte, I don't know. It's either just super lazy or maybe even done intentional, where the whole point is to have Ki-Adi-Mundi there to make the line he says in Phantom less accurate and feel like he was lying or something. You know what I mean? Like, it almost feels like they're trying to change what happened rather than to add emphasis and stuff like that, right? So it's not great. I guess look, I suppose it could mean that this show's actually a lot closer to the prequels than we thought, right? Or this show's just wrong. Are we going to see Ki-Adi-Mundi again in the show? Or is this just a one-off appearance where he's kind of in the background, right? I don't know. I guess it's just too hard to say, but I'm just not that bothered by the Ki-Adi-Mundi stuff. It doesn't really move the needle for me. Like, the show's mid either way. You know what I mean? What's this poll say? Oh my fucking God, dude. What? This is the fucking poll? Great. Fantastic. So this is probably why Lucasfilm has no idea what the fuck to do. So let's just look at the results for now, okay? Very mad, 26%. Mad, 22%. Mildly irritated, 27%. I'm not mad, screw that guy, 25%. And I mean, it's changing, but it's basically 25, 25, 25, 25. Fucking incredible, guys. We could not have even planned it to be that absurd. So, awesome job. And thus the state of the Star Wars fandom. Okay, let's keep going here. Finto 182 says, Master Ki-Adi-Mundi and Plo Koon look alike. Episode 4 was 3 of 10 for me. Snorefest for me. Evil Twin switch up was wild. Take my money, Nerd Venge for life, Unity, and all that goodness. Yeah, no, I appreciate the support, brother. I feel much the same. I'd give the episode like a 5. I'd say it's like right in the middle of the road. But I mean, do we want 5s, man? Like, no, hell no, bro. Like, we want like 8s, 9s, 10s. Like, we want fire. And I don't think we're there, bro. Chillin' says, F the Acolyte. Let's talk about all the fun Marvel rumors out there. Speculation galore. Let's go, Nerd Vengeance for life. Take my money, Unity. Yeah, there's some fun stuff going on out there right now with Marvel. I was working on a video yesterday about Franklin Richards because I just want to talk about how I truly think Marvel's about to bring in the most OP character they've ever brought in to Marvel. And there's been just a few select things that have sort of come out about Franklin in the movie, and it's fascinating. And then the speculation you could have with a character like that and what Marvel's doing is really interesting. So, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that Marvel's cooking, man. I guess it feels a lot like we're in a holding pattern to wait until, like, either Comic-Con or D23 where we get more of an idea of what's happening. Because right now you've got people like Holyfield News, bro. I'm sorry. I don't believe these scoops, man. I feel like that dude is just spouting off, popping off with like a ton of fake shit. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. But I think that guy's just wilding. I think there's other people like Rejected Scooper that are also just wilding. And then you've got like the scoopers that have been accurate in the past, and they're all being really quiet. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe right now. I'm just kind of waiting. Like, I'm just kind of waiting, man. I want more. Jax Brandon says, is the MCU no one cares about? X-Men proved that. Yeah, I disagree, but thanks for the 2, man. Rossi says, Jeremy Johns is killing in his reviews. Dude, yeah, Jeremy's great. I liked, there was one of my favorite Jeremy Johns videos was a video from several years ago, and it's all about how the First Order is not intimidating. One of my favorite videos. He like fucking nailed it, dude. In the middle of like the sequel trilogy when, you know, even myself admittedly was like not going as hard on Disney, and I was trying to look for the positives, and I was like, oh no, like maybe they'll pull it together. He did this incredible video talking about how the First Order is not intimidating. The messaging and the morality in the sequel trilogy is like horrible. And it is like, it is on point, dude. It is on point. Rossi says, my Acolyte rating for last night's episode is 4.5 out of 10. Yeah, that's not great, huh? Hey, Coop, thanks for the gifted, brother. Lord Jon Snow, welcome. Okay, JB says, with a 10 spot, really generous, man. Appreciate that. Says, May realizes that she's cannot do what she's been tasked with and is having doubts, which Chimere acknowledges. Her devotion is to her coven and sisters. She doesn't need revenge. Well, look, you can type that out and it makes sense in a sentence, but I think there's a difference between having it make sense, like in the syntax of a sentence, and then having it feel earned in a show. So it's obvious that what you just typed out is what had happened to the character. The challenge becomes, I don't feel like that was earned at all. And therefore, it feels completely out of left field, and I don't feel like I'm following a story. You know what I mean? So I appreciate the support, man, but that's just how I feel. Vagabond of Light says, I think the connection between the sisters in the Force is what changed May. Her love for her sister over her fear for her master. Again, that makes sense as a sentence. You know what I mean? Like that definitely makes sense, and maybe that's what is happening. I think, though, you want people to feel that. And I think there's a difference between like subtext, and subtext is a great tool in storytelling, and it can be very effective to like allow us to ponder these types of decisions and these things. I think there's a difference between like subtext and like no text. Like there is no context, there is no subtext, there is nothing for me that allows me to naturally feel like that is what is happening. You know what I mean? But I mean, look, it is also a subjective thing. It could be working for you, and that's fine. You know what I mean? It's just not working for me. James01 says, Wikipedia even changed Ki-Adi-Mundi's canon birth. I want to hate watch it, but I don't want to give it the views. Wow, is that true? Is that true? So let me ask you this. All you people that are super mad about Ki-Adi-Mundi, do you know what his actual birth date is? And do you know what material that comes from? From Legends? What Legends material? Josh, don't fall into the rage bait? What do you mean? Like, does any Republic Comics? Yeah, you got to Google it. That's what I mean. It's like, look, I'm not trying to be rude, but like, there's a whole lot of people that were like, dude, I'm furious. They fucking changed it. And you guys only know that because somebody like tweeted about it or something. Like, no, like you didn't know shit about Ki-Adi-Mundi's birth before you saw him in the show. And then you were like, I know they fucked that up. I don't know how, but I know they fucked that up. And, you know, to be fair, you're right, because they did. They did. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, y'all didn't even really know, bro. Like, oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Okay, Vagabond of Light, thanks for the gifted, brother. Kyle says with a 10 spot, appreciate you. Says, I've always had the same issues with these shows. They make them a 6-hour movie instead of a show, making the pace terrible. Leslie even calls it a movie herself. Why are we still week by week? Yeah. I do think the show would have benefited from a binge, dude. 100%. 100%. I think it would have benefited from a binge. Yeah, I don't know. It does feel like that they're doing that sort of it almost feels like an MCU mistake too, right? Where like the MCU would do this a lot. And there are certain episodes in certain part of the season which are like that weird part of the second act or the end of the first act, and it just drags and you're like, okay, well, I feel like we're ready for this next thing, but we're not there. Yeah, it could be that. He literally looks older than he does in the movie. They just changed his hair color. Oh shit, bro, that's crazy. He absolutely looked out of place in that show. Wait. Are you talking about Ki-Adi-Mundi? He looked out of place to you. So you saw it and you were like, dude, that's out of place. Damn. You're good. You're good, you. Was it his name in the show? No, but it is in the credits. I didn't hear his name. No. He's not addressed in the show. It's just in the credits. Yo, what if it's a different Ki-Adi-Mundi, bro? Actually, the writer of the show also chimed in on Twitter and was talking about how it was Ki-Adi-Mundi. Yeah. Bro, Josh, don't act like you weren't triggered AF last week about the same petty squabbles. Acolyte just bring out the hate dog in people. Look, obviously that's true. And I'm not trying to like tell people they're silly for being mad about it, but it is kind of interesting, just interesting to point out that like people didn't even know where that came from. I'm just like, and I do think that it's a true testament to how bad Lucasfilm has made the Star Wars fandom, that people are looking for things like that to be angry about. People are angry and then just looking for areas to like put their anger in. But there is also a degree of like, really? Like, did you really know? You know what I mean? And like when I asked chat, it's just nobody really knew like where his age even came from. You know what I'm saying? That should be fair to bring up. Like, I don't really give a fuck about Ki-Adi-Mundi, bro. Like, I'm sorry, I just really don't. I don't care about the pronouns on the weird gerbil dude, bro. Like, I just don't. Like, you know, it's obviously something that people are upset about, but I do feel like there's like a portion of folks that are like, okay, what are we gonna get super mad about this week? You know? And I think to me, my personal issue with that is that when you cry wolf about every single fucking thing, it just drowns out the seriousness of like when the show actually does something egregious. So I think if you were to just look at episode 3, there's like a lot of stuff you can bring up that are legitimate criticisms of how it was handled, how it was executed, and the motivation behind it. But then the next week, if you give that same level of emphasis, if you give that same level of anger to fucking Ki-Adi-Mundi being in like the first 2 minutes of the episode, like it diminishes the point to me personally. It's like, okay, then you're just mad. Like, that's fine. You can be fucking mad. Like, Bob's your uncle, bro. To be honest with you, I'm fucking mad. I think Star Wars is a shit show. But it just makes it so, like, how are people able to take those criticisms seriously? You know? Like, the May turn, that should be what people are... Like, let me just spell it out for you. You should be mad about May's turn. You should be mad about the lack of Sith in the show. You should be mad about the Wookiee dying off screen. You should be mad that the show feels like paint by numbers. You should be mad about episode 3 and all that shit. Should you be mad about Ki-Adi-Mundi? No. Just no. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, God, that's just like a weird one to get so hung up on. Is it lazy? For sure. But I mean, after last week, what did you think was going to happen? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Did people like literally had a eulogy for Star Wars last week? Like, it's dead? But then we're going to show up the next week and be like, they fucking ruined Ki-Adi-Mundi. Bro, they ruined the Chosen One. Like, what are you talking about? Dude, the Chosen One, that was rough shit. But Ki-Adi-Mundi, that's where I draw the fucking line. Freaking weird-ass penis-shaped head motherfucker that had like one line in the whole prequel trilogy. That's over the fucking line, Leslie. The lesbian witches was enough, but you've gone too far. Anyway. Riley says, so if he kills the Jedi at the end, Plagueis comes out and kills him in the end, do we like that? Yeah, I'd kind of like that. That'd be cool. I kind of like that. Yeah, I'd be down. That'd be cool, man. Do you guys want to see Plagueis in the show? Would you guys be down to see Plagueis? No? No. Oh, don't touch him. Yeah, look, I'm not going to. Tenebris, yes. Yeah, Tenebris. So what if okay, what if the opening scene of next week, I would just like to know. What if the opening scene next week is like Ki-Adi-Mundi and Plagueis passing death sticks back and forth to each other while enjoying the company of a bunch of Twi'lek ladies? You're telling me you're not down? Is it Ki-Adi-Mundi or Ki-Adi Tuesday? Ooh, good. Yeah, nice. I like that. Yeah, that's right. See, they should let me write this shit. Core Odinson says, I have a theory that Yoda may appear with the Jedi believing that the twins are the chosen ones, leading him to saying in episode 2, misread prophecy, maybe. Yeah, I mean, that could happen. I wonder how people will respond to that. I'm sure they'll enjoy it. D-Stone says, I don't think the show is great, but man, Star Wars hasn't had me like, oh shit, like I did when the Sith popped up in a long time. But then it ends. Yeah, I genuinely thought that was cool. I thought that was cool, man. I was like, oh man, I kind of like that. It's kind of spooky. Old Man Rising, appreciate your 5, brother. Says, Game of Thrones release 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19. Decline all April-ish. Shows need consistency to build momentum. We should be on Hot D season 3 by now. Lost momentum. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. We're going to talk about House of the Dragon in a little bit here, but I do wonder, chat, why do you guys think, and I asked people on Twitter this too, it was interesting to see people's answers. Why do you think House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 1 had lower viewership than Season 1? Why do you guys think that is? Definitely curious as to what you think. Okay, H. Chris says, why would you watch Acolyte and not Andor? For the same reasons. It's bad, so I won't watch Andor. It's bad, so I'll watch Acolyte. You know what? I think, and I gotta be honest with you, H. Chris, and I know that you're a learned person. I know that your house smells of rich mahogany, and you have many leather-bound books. You know, you're a serious guy, and I understand it. So let me give you a serious answer. I like lightsabers. So. Rossi, thanks for the $1 holla. A1 exec FPS says, win time is only resource. You don't get more of it. You don't waste it on the Acolyte, in my opinion. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, brother. And I you know, I gotta kind of take a hard look in the mirror and figure out why I had these. This is actually a true story. So I took a hard look in the mirror this morning, and I had like randomly some red hairs in my beard that like shot out like way, like they were just like, I was like, what the fuck? And they were like way further out than the other ones. And I was like, what the hell? What's up with that? Just randomly got some red hairs that just like I don't even know what they're doing there. Do you trim your beard? Probably not as much as I should. Josh is going through his Homelander arc? Yeah, a little bit. I am, yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Hey, I appreciate it, A1. I appreciate the support. Darth, thanks for the 5 gifted, baby. I appreciate it, brother. Joey Ebb says, I was watching last night with my wife, was on her phone, not really paying attention. And I said, I'm not even paying attention, and I can tell how bad the acting is in the show. And I just sighed and agreed. Yeah, it's not great. It's definitely not great, bro. JB says, let's keep it a secret. LMFAO, take my money. Hey, thanks, brother. Appreciate your love. Appreciate the love. Harley, new member. Welcome to the membership on the Prime. Hey, Harley, welcome. You're a diamond member, Harley? Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, by the way, I should have said this earlier. We're going to do a Diamond Lounge this Friday, okay? So, Friday, what should we do? 7:30, 8 again? If you've been a member for 6 months, you got to hit me up, hit somebody up on Discord. We'll get you into that chat. We'll have a couple drinks. We'll have a couple smokes. We'll talk some major shit. We'll talk about the aliens. We'll talk about Anunnaki. Oh, man, it's going to be great. So, yeah, we'll talk about it on Friday night. Get real wasted and then talk about life. They're always good. Always good times. Van of the Black says, episode 4 was like that. We're ready to leave like May, and they dangled Manny Jacinto Sith Lord out there. The show sucks so hard. I swear, it's the Team Green of Star Wars. Damn! Hey, thanks, H. Chris. I appreciate it. You know, Vandolph, I saw it's funny because Vandolph, I don't want to blow up his spot. Okay. But, Vandolph, longtime member, a lot of support. Appreciate you, bro. And it's funny because, like, he's obviously not a fan of Acolyte, and that's fair because Acolyte is fucking horrible. But you know what he is a fan of? Doctor Who. And that includes even, like, the most recent shit. And he's, like, riding hard for Doctor Who. And it was funny to watch in the Discord because he was, like, defending Doctor Who. But the way he was defending it was so funny. Because he's like, nah, I'm like, Doctor Who fans, we just keep the light on. Like, fuck it, man. Like, it's just, the copium, I don't have to refill it. It rejuvenates and shit like that. It was a funny combo. So, if you're going to blindly defend an IP or a franchise, do it like Vandolph. At least be funny about it. Like some of you guys are like, Acolyte's actually good. You just hate whamming. And it's like, bro, that's not fun. You bet you're real chill at parties, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of my face. Be more like Vandolph the Black. Keep the vibes, man. Keep the fucking vibes, bro. Anyway, Ross Terms says, it feels good to watch it even if it's whack sometimes. Maybe I agree. I don't know. Optimus Prime Rib says, Chimere is the Sith Lord as Kylo was Matt the radar technician in SNL. Yeah, it kind of feels that way. It does kind of feel that way, for sure. John Cross says, you were big mad when it came to Woke Hammer. Multiverse of Madness sucks. Dude, here's the thing. Like, John, I appreciate it, but, like, God damn it, because now I have to, like, explain the Warhammer thing again. I got super mad about female custodies, not because female custodies themselves can't make sense. It's because the company was lazy. The company is lazy. And then they did this low-hanging, like, lazy shit that just feeds into the culture war thing. So, like, here it is. I got to take it all the way back. I got to erase the whole fucking chalkboard and explain that, like, no, it's actually not the fact that I have a problem with female custodies. I have a problem with GW making female custodies on a whim in a super lazy way and then trying to gaslight their own fans into thinking that it was well thought out. I have a problem with Star Wars feeding into the culture war because it's just a stupid way to conduct business in the year of our Lord 2024. Like, I just think it's stupid, right? But I get roped into the bucket, or I get put into the bucket of people that just face value think it bad, whammon bad, woke bad, etc. God damn it. And every time I try to explain it, you know what happens? Everybody just gets mad at me. You see what I was talking about on yesterday's Twitch stream? A little bit. And also, thanks for coming by the Twitch stream yesterday. For those of you that were there, that was kind of fun. It was kind of chill just to hang out with y'all. You know? So I appreciate you guys. And also, you know, yeah, everything woke bad, woke bad, woke. Okay. Vagabond of Light says, it's to show his blindness to what's going on. He said there hasn't been a Sith in 1,000 years, and we all know that he was wrong. I mean, sure. Yeah. Again, you're preaching to the choir. I didn't really mind it. Ray Yumbo says, I'm just over Disney Star Wars at the moment. Anything with Dave will draw my attention. I'm tired of people thinking they can come out and do George Lucas' story better. Yeah, I agree. Hey, by the way, is it true that Dave's name is not in the credits of this show at all? Or am I crazy? Is his name in the credits? Ditcher's Universe says, didn't even watch the show last night. I'm done. I'm just here to chill and hate the show. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, it's not in the credits, right? Or is it? Thank God, bro. Thank God, bro. I wonder if he was like, wait, it's in there? At the very end? What? It's there? God damn it. Because I was just thinking to myself, that's so nice that his name's not in the credits. Leslie also mentioned her. Wait, what? According to everyone in Theory's stream last night, it's in there. Do we have to pull this shit up? 3055. What does it say? It's def in there? Bro, if I was Dave, I would be like, yo, get my name out of these fucking credits. Thought Josh wasn't going to talk about Acolyte? I'm not, Matt. I'm not talking about Acolyte. You're talking about it. I'm not talking about it. Headland said Dave helped her out with the witches. Yeah, dude, and he should have come out like, dude, how great would it have been if, like, we had that interview, right? And she's like, yeah, and Dave was basically like a mentor. And then, like, we see Dave, like, come from around the corner with, like, a baseball bat. And he's like, what'd you say, bitch? You shut your goddamn mouth. Like, come on, man. No, Dave. Dave's got a heel turn on these motherfuckers, bro. Like, Dave's got a heel turn. Like, I want to see the next interview with Dave Filoni and him to be like, can I be honest with you? I don't know what the fuck Kathy's been doing for the last 5 years. You know, I'm trying to make sense of it. I'm trying to do the best I can, but this shit sucks. Yeah, like, dude, come on, man. Come on, Dave. Hit her with the chair in the WWE, you know what I mean? Dar Boyd says, it obviously wasn't Ki-Adi-Mundi. I don't understand why people are saying it's him. I think he is named in the credits, sir. Yeah. In Canu, welcome back to the Nerd Adventures. Leon says, let's go 15 months, baby. Also, if anybody's mad about the pronoun thing, you really need to go outside and touch some grass. I don't know. You guys mad about the pronoun thing? Should we let everybody air it out? Dude, wait a minute. I just had the craziest fucking thought, chat. Hold up. Hold up. Hold on a second. Hold on a goddamn second. I just literally stopped the music because I think we're about to make a breakthrough. Okay? I think we live in a society, and in this society, we all should probably be in therapy, but most of us aren't. Okay? And so maybe these shows and the way they fuck up and the way that we complain and like talk about our feelings, maybe this is just a release for a society that doesn't know how to talk about their feelings. Holy shit. Did we just figure it out? Josh, I'm sad. You'll be all right. You'll be all right, son. Damn, bro. We just figured it all out. Holy shit. Maybe not, though. Space Slug says, yesterday, Wikipedia changed Ki-Adi-Mundi's B-Day. Lore doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, you're right, dude. How dare they, bro? Next thing, dude, Wikipedia... I heard Wikipedia burns books, man. You know what I mean? Jeez. Chillin' in the Basement says, I would argue that where Ki-Adi-Mundi's age comes from doesn't matter. Again, it's them not caring about anything that came before 2012. Nerd Revenge for Life. Take my money. Yeah. Man, Ki-Adi-Mundi fans they got to be feeling up right now, bro. This dude has not been talked about this much, maybe ever. Like, when do you think Ki-Adi-Mundi ever got this amount of radio play? Like, this dude has never had a single. You know what I mean? This dude has never been on the cover of a magazine. If I were a Ki-Adi-Mundi fan right now, I'm kind of sitting back and I'm loving today. This because I feel similar about Kit Fisto. Okay, so I love Kit Fisto. It's funny, I was just talking to Elisa about this yesterday. I really like Kit Fisto. Okay. And I would like, dude, if Kit Fisto was in the Acolyte last night, right? And then we were like, dude, what the fuck? Kit Fisto shouldn't be in here. Oh, man. And this many people are like talking about Kit Fisto, you know, memeing about Kit Fisto. I'd be like, dude, Kit Fisto fans, rise up. Let's go. Hell yeah, dude. He's got a lightsaber that works underwater. Y'all saw that in the Tarkovsky Clone Wars. That shit was hype. Okay. And I mean, that smile. Dude, talk about a face card. Fucking Kit Fisto. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Hell yeah. So, you know, we take the good with the bad here. Andrea says, idea ending. Chimere kills everyone, kneels to pledge to Tenebris, and then gets decapitated by Plagueis. You've done well, my apprentice. Roll credits. Damn. Yeah, that doesn't sound bad. Doesn't sound bad, bro. You know, you got something there. Rossi says, hey man, he's obviously an otter, not a gerbil. How can you be so insensitive? Pronouns don't matter to me, but I'm a speciesist. The insincerity from you. I mean, look, I would have thought of that guy as food. You know what I mean? I would have been like, yeah, we hired this tracker, and here's the deal. If it gets, like, kind of scary out there and we get lost, we just fucking eat this thing. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. Is that a speciesist? I mean, I think it's just the circle of life. And that's probably what I would have said to his ass when I cut his head off. It's the circle of life. You know, cooked them up, little barbecue, maybe smoke part of them. A lot of trees out there. You know, if you find one that's hollowed out, you know, you smoke a beaver humanoid creature thing for like, I don't know, 6 hours. That's probably pretty tender. Is that species? I don't know. Chris says, stay classy, Nerd Tower. Hell yeah, baby. Aaliyah, what's up? Says, if Filoni is listed on the credits, it's CCO capacity only. His name isn't anywhere near the prominent areas on the Wikipedia entry of the show. Hell yeah. Aaliyah coming in with cold, hard facts. What do you think about that, all you Filoni haters? What do you think about these cold, hard facts? Josh is a cannibal now? No. You're talking about a beaver thing. Did it say a word? Did the beaver guy say anything? It did talk? What did it say? What did it say? You know what this kind of reminds me of? Have any of you guys played Baldur's Gate 3? There's a part where, like, you go into this goblin thing and there's these ogres. Or I think they're either ogres or giants. And they say, are you friend or food? That's what I would have said to this little guy. He said, I found May in its own little language. You talking about those screams? I mean, I don't know, bro. A lobster screams when you throw that shit in the boiling thing, but it tastes real good with butter. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not saying he would taste good with butter. Again, I think you got to smoke them, a little seasoning, barbecue if you've got it, but, John Cross says, so what upset you this week? Leslie Headland and the Wokalite ruined Star Wars. Therapist. Another one of these fucks. Look, maybe that's what we do here. Maybe we provide a little bit of the therapy. You know what I mean? Isaiah, thank you for the 10, man. It's your first super chat. I appreciate it. Says, I'm sick of Disney and everyone using people's culture to make culture war statements, which inevitably leads to more animus to those cultures. If we want Star Wars to be black and gay, I think I understand what you're saying. I wish you would have expounded. If you can expand on that in the chat, I'll try to look out for it. But I think I understand what you're saying. I've had this criticism of Hollywood in general a lot, where it's really surface level representation. It's like checking boxes, and it doesn't feel authentic. I think for me, one of the best examples of this is there was an interview where Taika Waititi kind of came out and said, like, we don't want, like, representation is not every background shot having every ethnicity represented. That feels inorganic. That feels whack. True representation is like getting those actual people, whatever, you know, folks you're trying to be represented, have them actually create the show and like build the show from the ground up. And I do think when it comes to Hollywood, it's a lot of surface level. It's a lot of optics. I think that's what you're saying, but yeah, I'm not really sure. Appreciate the support either way. Warrior Monk says, George Lucas heel turn, funds his 7 and 9 and releases them for free as fan films. Thanks for years of entertainment and being authentic. Hey, I appreciate it, brother. Let me, you know what can I ask you guys a couple of questions here? Because I know everybody's mad about AI, right? Throw a 1 into the chat if you're mad about AI. Just curious. George Lucas said the other week when he was at that film festival that he would, I mean, I guess he didn't say it himself, but he was like, yeah, using AI in film is obvious. That's obviously going to happen. That's the next thing, right? And I just found out yesterday, and I'm not sure if it's true, but apparently Tyler Perry was building like an $800 million production studio, and he literally canceled it after he saw what Sora can do. Sora is text to video AI generation, right? Darth Josh says Josh is delusional. I mean, you're probably not wrong, but you got to be more specific. That is stupid. I mean, is it stupid? Medea AI? Yeah, I mean, you joke about that, but I honestly think that's the way it's going. So, you know, this question makes me interested because he says George Lucas funds 7 and 9. What if George Lucas made his Star Wars movies completely out of AI? Would you still watch them or not? I mean, I'm interested in how people feel about this. I think there's a lot of like empathy and existential fear that's caked in, that's built into the AI discussion. So I understand it and I try to be chill about it. But I also think it's like literally inevitable. You know what I mean? Not to be cruel, not to be harsh, but I think there's only one of two ways this goes. The one way is we were wrong about AI, and it's actually not as good or capable as we ever thought, and so it's therefore not going to replace a lot of the workforce. Or the other option is, oh, it's pretty much going to do everything. You know what I mean? And like, what's his face? Ashton Kutcher, right? He made this really interesting point when he was talking about it. He said, so let's say you wanted a really good establishing shot of some building or facility. So let's say we're doing a zombie movie and it's set inside a mall and we need this epic opening establishing shot outside of the mall. Okay? So the way we do that now, especially if you go through Hollywood, is like you've got to get permits, you've got to pay the crew, you've got to pay for the equipment, rental time of equipment, and you have to physically be there at a location with cast and crew. You have to pay insurance. You have to like you have to spend a stupid amount of money to go do that. Now, could you do it with like a drone shot and do it cheaply? Like, absolutely, but that's not how Hollywood works. Like, Hollywood usually has you go through all the hoops and ladders for every fucking shot, right? So, like, I just see no scenario in which a studio will continue to want to pay all of that money and the insurance to do that when it could just generate the image. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, SGN Hub has an interesting take. He says, when AI takes over labored tasks, it will be up to humans to find what their true purpose is. And that alone is a scary, because people hate change. Yeah, you know what's funny is like, so if you guys know who Sam Altman is, he's been asked about this, and he said that that problem is harder to solve than creating AGI. Meaning, it'll be simpler for society to create super intelligent AI than it will be for society to solve that problem of purpose. once it happens. CGI isn't cheap either. So, yeah, that's another thing too, right? It's like, I mean, so like you might say like, oh, well, that's stupid. Like Tyler Perry shouldn't do that. But like if he's the one spending the $800 million and he realizes he's building something that will be obsolete within a couple of years, like then it's not a stupid decision. It's actually smart. And maybe he's not getting rid of it completely. Maybe he's just trimming it down. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting debate. Whenever people bring that up, where they're like, "Dude, like I want to see George Lucas's like true vision," it's like, well, do you really? I mean, what if he did? Like, let me throw this one at you. And this I don't, obviously this isn't true, but we know that Quentin Tarantino just canceled the production of The Movie Critic. And so he's going to do something different. Right? What if Quentin Tarantino's final movie is AI? Like, how would you guys feel about that? Like, would you go watch that movie? Because on the one hand, it's like, oh, boo, it's AI. But on the other hand, it's like, but it's Tarantino. And if you think about the way Tarantino works, he's meticulous. There's not a lot of surprises on a Tarantino set. You don't ad lib on a Tarantino set. You give Tarantino the performance exactly the way he envisioned it, exactly the way he wrote it. Exactly. There is no wiggle room. It is exactly as he wrote it. Right? So if you think about it, somebody that wants that much control, like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, do you get what I'm saying? I don't know, maybe not. All right, anyway, let's keep going. Old Man Rising says Disney Star Wars induced therapy is real. Yeah, I think it's real. Vandolph the Black says, was Mundi hooking up with girls that long? Wow. You mean hooking up with girls for that long? Maybe. So Ki-Adi-Mundi had this special thing, which I'm sure you guys all know because obviously you're so mad because you're all big Ki-Adi-Mundi fans, so you probably know this already. Ki-Adi-Mundi actually was one of the only Jedis that was allowed to bang. So because his species was so almost extinct, he was allowed to bang. Yeah. So he'd be like in the Jedi Council and he'd be like watching the Jedis like squirm and get uneasy. And then he'd be dropping full loads into biddies like halfway across the galaxy. It's pretty wild. So one must wonder, like, for how long was he engaged in that kind of activity? All right. Maybe I went a little too far on that one. Hey, let's keep going here. Positive Prenderez says, anyone else think Abeloth with that smile mask? Yeah, it absolutely could be Abeloth. It kind of seems that way. It was his duty. True. You're not wrong. Full loads is diabolical. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. You know? Like, we just... Shit gets wild a little bit over here. Jensen Baker says, why do people say Mundi's B-Day was changed? It's just straight up missing from the canon section, and his Legends portion still says 93 BBY. Oh, shit. Is this a debunking of all the stuff you guys were mad about? Wait, what? Did you guys fake news me? You guys fake news me, man. You guys said that Wikipedia changed the canon right in front of your eyes. Did you guys lie to me? It was always Legends. I've been telling you. He's wrong? Aw, shit, dude. Aw, shit. They did it last night? But how do I know, H. Chris? How do I know? What about the droid attack on the Wikipedia? Yeah. BBL Monday. It's got a nice ring to it. Okay, anyway. Yeah. We need to get into the hot tea. We're almost 2 hours in. This is crazy. Harley says, nah, that motherfucker would cook up good. Show blows ass so far. Love seeing you back on streams. Hey, thanks, Harley. Appreciate you. Old Man Rising says, Josh is cheaper than my therapist, to be fair. That's true. You get what you pay for, though. Kyber Sith says, should AI be used just for advertising and not art? Oh, I mean, what are you going to, how are you going to put that genie back in the bottle, bro? Like, that is, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Rossi says, Yoruban time majored in the other language, remember? Yoruban time majored in otter language. Remember? I don't remember, but I still think he would taste good. Purple Funk says, hey, go Kit Fisto. He's my favorite part of the prequels. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, cooking up the little weird dude. Okay, so you said, nah, that motherfucker would cook up good. Talking about the little beaver guy. Show blows ass so far. Love seeing you back on streams. Thank you so much. You know, that show blows ass, but The Boys actually shows people blowing ass. Isn't that fascinating? What a world. What a world that we live in, huh? Okay, let's shift a little bit. I want to talk about Hot D. Pause the music. Okay. So what the fuck is going on with House of the Dragon? I want to talk about the news that came out yesterday. I want to get your take on this, guys, because we had some people, I guess, correcting the news that came out yesterday. I first saw this pop up because Grace Randolph, whom most of you love in chat, you know, and I find to be entertaining and insightful. Grace Randolph retweeted a report from Samba News or Samba, whatever, Samba. And it was about how the first episode of House of the Dragon season 2 had a 50% lower viewership than the first one from season 1. And I was like, God damn, that's bananas, dude. 50%? What the hell happened? You know? And I'm so curious as to what you guys think happened. Now, we did get a correction. I want to pull this up for you guys. Let me pull this up so we can look at this. Okay. So this came out from Forbes, and I find it to be really interesting because remember when Samba said some shit about Ahsoka? And everybody was like, damn, like, dude, that seems really bad. And then, like, numbers came out later. Disney came out with a headline, I think, on Tuesday and said it was the most watched thing that weekend on Disney Plus. Like, okay, what does that mean? But we're seeing this weird thing where, you know, analytics reporters, different journals or websites, everybody's tracking numbers in a different way and reporting them in a different way. So you had Samba come out and say 50% lower. I couldn't believe it. But then you get this Forbes article here. House of the Dragon Season 2 debuts to 7.8 million viewers, which isn't that like, that's like double what Ahsoka was, right? But again, it's like, who's calculating this? But or rather, Acolyte. They said Acolyte got, what, 5 million views in a day or something like that, right? I don't really know. But anyway, it says here, the second season premiere of HBO's popular House of the Dragon, a spin-off of the Game of Thrones series, drew 7.8 million viewers to HBO cable channel and Max streaming service Sunday night. Warner Bros. Discovery says a 22% drop from those who tuned in for the premiere of the first series in 2022. Here's the key facts. The first episode of Season 2, which aired at the same time as the Tony Awards, is more than 2 million viewers behind the 10 million that tuned into the House of the Dragon series premiere on Sunday night debut almost 2 years ago. So that's facts. 2 million less people. What the fuck? When it first premiered, House of the Dragon became the largest series premiere in HBO history, according to the network. And HBO at the time said day of viewership for Sunday night shows usually equate to only 20 to 40% of a show's total audience. Crazy. Within 3 months of the initial release, HBO reported the first season ended up averaging 29 million viewers to be the most watched show since Game of Thrones at the time. It was later beaten by The Last of Us. That is wild, though. That is a shit ton of people watching it, right? Despite the fall, the second season still greatly outpaced its predecessor's show initial live viewership. The Game of Thrones premiere in 2011 to 4.15 million viewers. Within 90 days, average had risen it to 9.3. Super interesting. Okay, so not as bad as Samba was reporting. Okay? But still not great. So I'm curious. And look, I'll be honest, when the initial Samba numbers came out, I was like, oh no. Because one of the things that I'm interested in, just as somebody that commentates on a lot of this entertainment, right, is like, how is the relationship with fans and entertainment changing? And I have all sorts of theories and all sorts of thoughts about how this could shake out. You know, last year when we did the meetup, right, one of the things I remember talking to Adam about, and maybe I talked to some of you guys about it too, was the possibility of like fandom fatigue, right? And I had this thought of like, well, you know, so we had like lockdown and the pandemic and all these things. And when that was happening, I felt like fandom was like crazy. You know, if you remember back to the times of like watching WandaVision, even like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then Mando season 2, House of the Dragon, Invincible season 1, like there were a lot of shows that came out, and not only was everybody just stuck at home, but we couldn't really like do much. You know, like having conversations, talking. So like it felt like fandom was like on another level because everybody was just like engaged in these different things, right? And I've often thought like, wow, I wonder if that created some kind of fatigue for just fandom in general, like just being like engaged in these things in the same way that you were before, right? So when I saw the Samba numbers, the first ones, I was like, dude, that's devastating. Because look, Acolyte, I think we all agree, not as good as it should be. Some people defend the show, but most of us are like, yeah, it's just not it. Mando season 3, definitely not it. It was pretty whack. I like Ahsoka, but even Ahsoka has some hit and miss, and the ending is weird. You know, even The Boys, like you could say, and I do feel like The Boys has sort of dropped off in quality a little bit. I'm still enjoying this season so far, but you look at some of these shows that had this incredible viewership and this incredible pop back in the day, and then you look like Mando season 3, 30% reduction, 22% reduction in House of the Dragon, you know, all these different things. My worst fear is that it's not even about quality, even though we'd like to believe, you know, the cream rises to the top, you separate the chaff and the wheat, and that's what's happening, and there's like this decline in quality that people are checking out on. I mean, to me, House of the Dragon is incredible. The first episode, you could say it's a little slow. You could say it lacks action, but I think it's incredible. And I thought the first season was incredible. And it would be a shame to see a show like that and quality like that also face diminishing returns in the same way that other franchises are. I mean, one of the reasons that's kind of scary is because it's like, oh shit, is the quality even the issue? Or is there something else going on? And I almost had this thought, dude. Well, I didn't almost have this thought. I had this thought, but I was like trying to like figure out how to articulate it. I almost believe that a lot of the shows and franchises that had content out already, like while this big shift was happening in people's viewership patterns and how they engage with entertainment, it almost feels like though all of those franchises are kind of down bad, but there are some franchises that are like newer that are being talked about now that people are kind of excited about, and I feel like the new stuff could have a real shot at like sustaining and being very successful. I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly how to articulate what I'm thinking and like how I'm feeling about this, but as somebody that lives within fandom, that's like kind of what I do, right? It's like I live within fandom, either on social media or in the streams or in the videos. I'm engaged in fandom. I study fandom. We talk about all this sort of stuff. And so I'm really curious why this happened. There's a couple theories I've seen. So one of the theories that I actually agree with is the 2-year gap. Okay? And I want to know what you guys think about this. We're going to talk more about this in just a second, but go with me on this. The 2-year gap does feel like a big deal, man. You know, like you have all this momentum and it's been so long that a lot of my friends that watch the show or that were into Game of Thrones, they feel like they need to literally rewatch the show. So like I've got a couple of buddies, they're not going to watch this new season at all until they rewatch the first season because it's been 2 years, right? And so you might have people that are like either putting it off or waiting for it to be bingeable because they want to catch up and have like all of that going on. And it's like, damn, that really does hurt. And I think that hurt. I mean, it might have hurt The Boys. It seems like it hurt Invincible. It seems like it hurt Mando for sure. And it seems to be affecting House of the Dragon, right? And I think that's probably the most obvious thing. You could argue as far as how much of that is the actual reason. There's multiple reasons to why people probably didn't check it out. But I think that's probably the biggest one that we could all point to and say, yeah, that really seems to be something that's hurting a lot of these shows. I also wonder if any of this has to do with the novelty of some of these things wearing off a bit, right? So this is just anecdotal, but one of my buddies I was talking to was like, yeah, I'm just over it, dude. I'm kind of over dragons. All it is just a bunch of incest, gore, crazy, stuff. And I'm just not about that life anymore. And I feel like that's something that The Boys suffers from a little bit, and maybe Game of Thrones suffers from, where initially, right? Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Like, initially, you have a lot of these things that come out, and, dude, it's crazy. Like, Invincible, you're like, dude, I can't believe how gory and crazy that is. The Boys, you're like, oh, my God, I can't believe they did this. I can't believe they did this. Game of Thrones, I mean, that is the Game of Thrones thing. I mean, whether it's the Red Wedding, Battle of the Bastards, all these crazy things, you're like, I can't believe they did this, right? Is that wearing off for folks? Are folks not as interested in that spectacle, in that that angle as much anymore? Without the substance to back it up, it does feel a little gimmicky, right? So my thoughts on this are, number one, a little bit scary to see that, right? Number two, I think there are multiple reasons, but I think one thing you could really point at is the 2-year gap. I'm curious how fans are feeling about like violence, gore, and those kind of gimmicks, because here's the other thing that's kind of scary. It seems like Marvel is trying to copy The Boys a little bit And wow, what if they go down this road that now people are starting to get fatigued of? That would be like a horrible worst case scenario, right? And I think, you know, the overall take is like, dude, I want to sit back and see what happens. Will this be a show that eventually gets back to that 30 million viewers per episode? Like, and I think it will. My prediction is it'll find itself. It'll get its feet. Maybe the marketing was bad. People didn't know it was out. We got to get back to that Sunday pop, that water cooler talk. A lot of like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it can recover. But oh my God, dude. If it goes like 25% lower just in general, and like let's say it just doesn't get back up to those huge numbers, like that would be really concerning for HBO, for Game of Thrones people, but also like as somebody that is engaged in fandom, like that's kind of scary, right? So yeah, I'm curious. That's kind of my thoughts on it. I'd love to know what you guys think, man. What do you think? Like, what do y'all think, man? Icy V Torchy over on Twitch says, in 365 days, I could create a more interesting CB universe than anything The Boys and Invincible. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's true. I don't know. I wouldn't worry about the numbers. With Hot D, I believe it will rebound. Aw, shit. Icy, you're good, brother. You're good. Don't even worry about it. Gore and violence is still loved. You think so? You don't think it's wearing off at all? Does anybody think it could be wearing off a little bit? Do you think this is a bad sign for Deadpool 3, making a Billy? I don't think it's necessarily a bad sign for Deadpool 3. It's potentially a bad sign for, like, if Marvel's really leaning into that direction. Because, like, Deadpool, is it the fact that it's rated R that makes it popular? I don't think so. I just think rated R feels right for the character. He's irreverent, right? I think the appeal for Deadpool and Wolverine is actually a lot to do with Hugh Jackman coming back and those two characters being together. So I don't think any of that's diminished, but it could be a mistake if like Marvel wants to do like a hardcore Garth Ennis like Punisher style show. If Marvel wants to take Midnight Suns in a hard R direction, you know what I mean? Like there's potential problems down the line. I don't think it'll affect Deadpool much though. It's not the violence, it's the nihilism. People want hope back. That is that's a really interesting comment. I just saw an interview with a very young Sylvester Stallone, and he was talking about writing Rocky and making Rocky, right? And one of the things he was talking about was like, you know, cinema kind of ebbs and flows. It's like cyclical, and you have like anti-heroes and nihilism kind of like become popular, and then when that becomes oversaturated, you'll see like a shift towards heroics. And like Stallone said he literally wanted to make a movie that was more like the tone of the movies in the 40s and 50s, where it is heroic, a regular guy could do incredible things and stuff like that, right? You do wonder if we're going in that sort of a direction, you know? Mm-hmm. Just look at how great the Logan fan film did, and that was gory. People do want hard. Yeah, I mean that did perform well, and it kind of was like one of the calling cards of that was the fact that it was so super violent. So I mean, you've got a point there for sure. Hot D was so good. What are we talking about? It came out on Father's Day. Half watched later. You think Father's Day is the thing? James Gunn's Superman hopeful? I mean, I hope it's hopeful. I think it'll be. I mean, James has put or done a lot of lip service to the fact that like he gets it and understands that that's what Superman should be. So, yeah, maybe. I think that would be cool. I think that would be cool, man. Den of Swifties? What the hell? There needs to be some optimism amongst the gloom. The whole country is in a weird, tense gloom, and anxiety in media needs to be the outlet. Yeah, so maybe we'll see that shift, you know? You know what's probably going to save the culture and kind of like help us out a lot here? And now that I think more about this, it's actually a brilliant plan. It's going to be episode 10, A New Beginning, starring Rey Skywalker. You know what I mean? Like, the more I think about it, like, you guys are right. Like, we just need some hope. You know what I mean? All right. Yorbin Time majored in the... Oh, yeah. Purple Funk says, let's go, Kit Fisto. Hell yeah. Kenzie says, Jedi could do the nasty. They just couldn't form attachments. Much like early 2000s Bay Area rapper D-Lo. Interesting. Never heard it put quite like that. Jensen Baker says, what happened last night? It is. Right now. Back to normal. People don't need to say I'm lying when they can look it up themselves. But brother, what are you talking about? Can you just fill me in? Like, what are you talking about, bro? What are you even talking about there, brother? Do. Let me check one thing here. All right, let's talk about a couple other things. We're probably going to have to call it. There's a fucking heat wave, dude. There's a heat wave hitting my area. And even though I got the AC in here blasting, like, we're starting to cook. And not like cook, like, because I have a good take. Like, cook like that lobster that we threw into the boiling water earlier. Holy shit. Okay, you guys were asking about some Marvel news, huh? You guys want to know some Marvel? You guys want to know about some? Oh, jeez. Y'all want to know about some Marvel news and shit? Check this one out. I saw this randomly pop up. I thought it was kind of fun, so we could talk about it together. The Diz Insider says Taron Egerton favorite to play Wolverine after Hugh Jackman, according to betting odds. Check this out, man. Sportscasting.com has gathered and analyzed the odds for the next actor to play Wolverine after Hugh Jackman. So this is kind of interesting. Look at this. So Taron Egerton plus 200 odds. Tom Hardy at 300? What the hell? What the hell, bro? How is Tom Hardy like higher than all these other guys? What the hell? Like, he is already Venom, right? Like, what the hell? Wouldn't that be crazy if, like, they did Venom The Last Dance and, like, that's his last Venom movie because he wants to be Wolverine? Like, where does this even come from? Scott Eastwood? Dude, who the hell is Scott Eastwood? Real talk. I don't even know who this guy is. Who is this fucking guy? Scott Eastwood. Who is this fucking guy? And why is he, like, what is happening here? Henry Cavill. You know what's kind of interesting about the Henry Cavill thing? He is supposed to be Wolverine in this movie. like as another variant or something. So that's kind of weird, right? I wonder if you could bet on this and then try to cash it in because he's probably in Deadpool and Wolverine. Isn't that interesting? Jeremy Allen White. Who the hell is this guy? This fucking guy from The Bear? That's Wolverine? Like, what? Who is, like, what? That's crazy. Charlie Hunnam. I would actually love Charlie Hunnam as Wolverine. Jamie Dornan. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? What's he been in? The Fall? What the fuck? Oh, this is the 50 Shades of Grey guy? What the fuck? Okay. Zac Efron? Oh, I actually think Zac Efron at 1,600. Like, I would make this bet. Daniel Radcliffe? I would make this bet. Carl Urban? I mean, unfortunately, I don't think so. But I think Carl Urban would be a fantastic Wolverine. For sure, dude. But they've got Taron Egerton up here. You know, it's funny. I have heard some shit about Taron Egerton. It was a while ago, but I did hear some shit about Taron Egerton. So that is probably the safest bet. You know, for me, man, I'm still trying to figure out if because they're obviously going to do their own X-Men in the MCU, and they're developing it right now. But I still don't understand, are they doing the rebooted X-Men or are they doing Fox X-Men? Right? Like, I still don't get it. Because I think it's a little silly to try to build up, like, 616 X-Men and like that, while you're also building up this other, like, Fox X-Men thing, especially because of the soft reboot. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, why not both? Well, because I think it's confusing. Both. Yeah, dude, wait, what? You guys really want both? No way. I just, like, I don't see how you could do both, especially if you're going to do a soft reboot. You know what I mean? Why not? Because it's confusing. Kendall says, Michael B. Jordan for Cyclops. Happy Juneteenth. I think you're trolling a little bit, but also happy Juneteenth. And no. No, thank you. Sheesh. Confusion. Let the Fox versions have one last moment of the spotlight and then reboot all the X-Men. Yeah, but okay. True. You know what? Maybe Deadpool will actually help to explain this. Maybe Deadpool will explain how and why we have multiple Wolverine variants and why we should care about them. That could work, right? But I just think it's weird. Like, you're bringing Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. You want him to be in Secret Wars. It seems like Secret Wars, and it seems like a lot of the lead-up is going to take the next couple of years, right? Why would you do that and then develop a new Wolverine to kind of like... I don't know. I just feel like it's silly. MJB as Cyclops is kind of dope. I don't really see him as Cyclops. Nah. Kaylin Jackson says Jared Kesso should play Wolverine. Who the hell is Jared Kesso? I don't know who that is. Is this even a real person? He did some hockey movie. Oh, he was in Elysium. He was in Godzilla? I think he's more of a Cyclops, actually. Make him Cyclops, bro. Jared Kesso for Cyclops, bro. That's what I think. Rossi says, I'd sleep with KK to get Cavill as Wolverine. Wow. Wow, okay. That's taking one for the team there, I guess, huh? My God. Acolyte was awful. You said no more talking on it, pal. I didn't talk about it. You guys talked about it. Josh should play Wolverine. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's very nice. Mitch Kruger, appreciate the 10 spot. Very generous. Says, random AF, but would you say the Jon Snow gif in Battle of the Bastards is the most popular gif of all time? You can't go a day on Twitter without seeing it. It's got to be the GOAT. It's up there for sure. It is up there. What a fantastic episode, too. Woo, man. I love that episode. So good. 2 hours on Acolyte, 10 minutes on Marvel Pain. Well, we could talk a little bit more about Marvel. Let me check the Reddit, see if there's anything else going on. I think we're kind of in a holding pattern, man. We're kind of in a wait and see mode for Marvel right now. Yeah, there's like nothing really fresh out there for Marvel right now. I mean, look, I could break down all the Marvel stuff for you real quick, okay? Here it is. Deadpool Wolverine just wrapped. Everybody's excited about Deadpool Wolverine. Probably going to be lit. Captain America Brave New World. Russo's listed as producers. What does that mean? Are they actually involved? That would be huge. Debate on whether or not it's actually real. But the editor, right, that joined Captain America Brave New World, that worked on Winter Soldier, Endgame, and all those movies, that's a W. That's cool. Reshoots on that movie are extended for 7 more days. So for 7 more days, that movie's going to be reshooting. Thunderbolts just wrapped, or I think it's really close to wrapping. Yeah, other than that, man, there's like nothing. There's nothing. Talk about Agatha, actual project coming out about after Deadpool. I have nothing to say about Agatha. I think Agatha's a mistake. I still hope they cancel Agatha. Good night, Jay. Film late over here in Australia. Keen to have you on the next stream. BL on the Heatwave. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, I hope they cancel Agatha. Actually, even if they drop a couple of episodes, I still hope they cancel it. Like, Kevin should just come out and just do like a literal like IG live something or other and just be like, guys, look, we fucked up. Agatha's really bad. It's super lame. I'm sorry. We're going to cancel it. So that would be great if that happened. Ghost Rider. There's no Ghost Rider news, bro. I'm sorry. Like Holyfield news, I'm sorry. That's just not. Rejected Scooper? No, sorry. I would love for me like to believe that shit. I just don't. Like right now, Holyfield News has a scoop about the multiversal Masters of Evil. I actually think that could be true. But, like, that guy scooping it kind of makes me believe it less. Dude, trust me, I want so badly for number one, there to be news. But for number two, for there to be people other than, like, the 4 scoopers that are out there that get everything. I would love for there to be other people that actually knew what was going on and that we were talking about. But, yeah, no, it's just not true, unfortunately. I think these guys are making shit up. I think these guys be making shit up. Man, why is Disney so obsessed with lesbian witches? Supporter of lesbian witches. It's odd. You know what? That is true, actually, now that I think about it. Because you got the lesbian witches in... You got the lesbian witches in Acolyte. You got lesbian witches in Agatha. What the hell? And I'm pretty sure Lizzo is a lesbian witch as well. I mean, I heard this allegedly online. I don't know. Don't repeat that. But it's crazy. What is happening? For what it's worth, the Geeky Cast seems to trust Holyfield. What? All right, I'm gonna hit him up about that then. I'm gonna hit him up right now. Like, wait a minute, you think Holyfield knows? Let's see. I mean, trust me, I'd be down, dude. I'd be down to talk about the multiversal masters of evil. Fuck it. Maybe I should make a video on that anyway. Tim says, lesbian witches belong on the hub, not on Disney. Bow chicka bow wow. I wonder what Ki-Adi-Mundi thinks of them. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? All right, guys, let's just kick. Like, what else do you guys want to talk about? We can kick it for like 5-10 minutes, just kind of chill. I will say, yeah, what is going on with this guy? What is going on with this guy? You know what was so cool yesterday? I wonder if you guys saw this, man. I have been really vibing on the old Marvel vs. Capcom game. I brought it up a couple of weeks ago on stream where I was like, dude, Marvel vs. Capcom is sick. Like, I want to get back into the MVS2. You know, like, I want to play that. I bought Marvel vs. Capcom 3 on my Xbox and was playing that a little bit. Bro, yesterday, and I'm sure many of you saw this, yesterday, it officially came out. It was announced that they're doing a Capcom arcade collection on Steam, I think PS5 and Nintendo Switch. That's a whole nother thing. It's like, what the hell's going on with the Xbox, right? But dude, this is like a dream come true for so many people because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 specifically, it had a weird licensing thing. Yeah, there's trailers for it. Oh yeah, I watched them. I watched the shit out of those trailers too. I thought it was awesome. The licensing for that game prevented it from coming out again. So copies for like the Dreamcast and the original Xbox were over $200. Okay. Now there were emulators and you could get it via a cabinet because there was some kind of way where the cabinet got around the licensing because you weren't selling the individual games. You were like selling the cabinet, which had access to the game or something like that. I don't really know. But all I know is, like, for years, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is considered maybe the greatest fighting game of all time, you couldn't buy it, bro. You had to go get old copies or emulators or an arcade cabinet and all this sort of stuff. So now they have a version coming to Steam. And, bro, it's insane. It's remastered. It has rolled back netcode, so you can actually play competitively online, and the netcode's good, so you don't have to worry about, like, cheese or, you know, latency issues. There's going to be online leaderboards, online co-op. Oh, my God, bro. Like, so cool, so exciting. So when that comes out, I'll do a big stream, and we'll play arcade games all day, man. We'll play the Punisher Beat 'em Up. We'll play Children of the Atom. We will, oh, dude, I cannot wait, dude. I'll fight some of you guys. Maybe some of you guys could hop on the stream with me, and we'll play, like, co-op together. Should be so cool. I'm also going to buy a fighting stick, like whatever they call a fight pad or whatever, with the buttons and the stick. Hell yeah. Deadpool game? I don't know if there is a Deadpool game in that collection. But yeah, dude, I'm very excited about that. That is a huge W. So I'm really excited. That'll be cool. John Cross says, I want to hear your take on the UFC 303 switch up. I think Conor should just retire. That's what I think. If it's actually true that Conor is just in rehab or like he needs to go to rehab, bro, just walk away from the sport, man. Like, I feel bad for all those people that spent all that money to go see him. I feel bad for Michael Chandler. I just don't know, man. Like, Conor is such a weird, he's such an interesting case because, like, I think a lot of us loved Conor's come up and it's a really inspirational, crazy story. But, like, Conor's done a lot of bad shit in the last 5 to 6 years. I just don't know. I don't know how to feel about him, you know? And there's a part of me that absolutely wants to see him fight again. But there's another part of me that's like, bro, just please stop. Like, it's worse because we just don't know it's over. It's like we can't have closure. You know what I mean? Whew. So, don't like that. As far as the switch up, though, I gotta say, this is probably legitimately a better fight. Like, Yuri and Alex, dude, I wanted that rematch before, especially after Yuri's last fight. He looked really good, really sharp. And he talked about Alex a little bit, and he talked about how, like, because Yuri's style is wild. Like, he comes hands down, head forward. Like, dude, Yuri is wild. But he can't be that wild against Alex. Alex is just too dangerous. So he's gotta switch it up. But I'm very excited for that fight. I think the co-main's really interesting too. So the UFC kind of pulled off a miracle as far as switching that fight and making it still a good card. Yeah, Anthony Smith is coming in. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good card. But honestly, like, I just wish Conor would walk away, man. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, let me just say it like this. And I would say this to Conor. And like, you know, maybe he'd be super mad or whatever. But, like, this is just the reality of the situation. Like, you were the most hungry motherfucker there was. You know, Mystic Mac calling his shots, coming in at such a young age and saying, like, I'm going to be the next big thing. And, like, dude, what the things he pulled off were absolutely incredible. He went from being the most hungry person possible to, like, you can't even get off the booze and drugs to do a full camp. There is no world in which, like, if that's true, right? If what Bisping is saying is true, brother, it's one thing if you actually had a good camp, because we'd still question how hungry you were. We'd still question if you were that same guy. If you literally just can't even get off the bottle or the pills or whatever to do a full camp, there is no universe in which a person like that is going to be able to return to their greatness. Zero chance. Zero chance. So, just let it go. You know what I mean? Like, just let it go. There is no reason. If I was Conor, I would just keep going to other fights, being coked up in the fucking audience, giving crazy interviews, selling booze, you know, getting head on my super yacht and shit. Like, dude, just go sail off into the sunset and be that guy. Because you are not the guy that you were before. So that's kind of my take on it. It's like, dude, it's like irritating. As a fan, I'm just like, get out of here, bro. Dar Boyd, appreciate the 10, brother. Says, I know video games aren't your focus here, but Nintendo dropped massive news. The first gameplay trailer for Metroid Prime 4, which is a massive for Metroid fans. A 7-year wait paid off. Nerd Vengeance for life. Hey, I saw a lot of people being excited about it. And I'm happy for the Nintendo fans. And you guys get Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the fucking Switch, too? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's really cool, though. So, yeah. Happy for the Nintendo fans, man. Good on you. Bob's your uncle. We get it on the PS5 too. I know. L for Xbox, I know. But I'm pretty much a PC gamer now, so I don't really care. Yeah, I don't really care. Shadows of the Erd Tree. I don't know if I'm going to play that at launch. I might eventually play it. I mean, look, Elden Ring's amazing. I love that game. That shit was awesome, but I don't know. Ian Gary or MVP? I hope MVP wins. I hope. All right, everybody, look, starting to get a little spicy hot in here. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. It was cool to just chat a little bit about Acolyte. I know I said I was out, but they dragged me back in. I've got a couple cool videos on the way, too. I want to talk about Franklin Richards. Hopefully some other news drops. Maybe I'll make a video on the multiversal Masters of Evil just in general, because I think it's really cool. But I do expect in the next couple of weeks, I do expect that we'll get some more little TV spots or trailers for Deadpool, Wolverine. I'm going to make a video about the potential cameos and stuff like that. So I do think we're going to get some Deadpool stuff in the next couple of weeks here. So be on the lookout for that. All right, one last thing I'll tell you guys before I get out of here. Dude, yesterday, and now that I think about it, this is actually like your fault, guys. This is because of people on Twitch, okay? But yesterday, you guys were talking a lot about Five Guys. And so later on in yesterday, we went to Five Guys. Yeah, this is your fault. We went to Five Guys, and I had a burger. And, you know, we're sitting there, we're waiting at the table, right? It's me, Lisa, and Liam, and we're just, like, chilling or whatever. Dude, I, like, randomly bashed my elbow into the table harder than I have ever, like, just ever done. It is so fucking tender right now and, like, painful. And it doesn't look, like, that swollen. It doesn't look too bad. But, like, if I bump it up against something, like, as I was playing, that's on you? Nah, bro, that's on you, bro. Like, you gotta own up on this one, man. It wasn't even the funny bone. It felt like it went, like, into my bone, but it wasn't the funny bone. But I had a tingly reaction. But now it's like, any time that elbow brushes up against something, it's like sharp pain. Like, intense pain. So, that's kind of on you guys. That's for Andor. God damn it. Damn, I feel you, Josh. My dogs made me fall the other day and my knee still hurts. Yeah, see? Exactly. Was it $30? Yeah, it was around $30, yeah. Should you go to urgent care? Look, I don't like to generalize, you know, especially when it comes to ethnicities and stuff like that. But I'm Aaliyah, I'm Polish. And urgent care, I mean, for us, it would have to be like hanging. Like the arm would have to be like hanging off to go to urgent care. You know, the Polish way is to grunt, bear it, pretend that it's not there. Yeah. So, you know, that's kind of what we do. So I'll just grunt a little bit more, and we'll check it in a couple days and see where we're at. So yeah, it's the Polish way. Yeah. All right, everybody. Much love, man. I appreciate you. I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you had a good time on the stream. I try to keep it light, try to keep it fun. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Thank you for the support. Videos coming out tonight. Wolverine, 7:30. If you're a member, be there, baby. We're going to be talking about Wolverine, baby. So I'll see y'all later tonight, okay? Take care of yourselves and each other. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I will see you in the next video. Hey, Delta Dan, thank you. Rossi, thank you. Gift of memberships, appreciate y'all. Oh man, Acolyte's so good. I can't believe all these haters. It's got lesbian witches, Jedis that are snitches, little creepy things that I want to give the best wishes. Yeah. Yeah, you guys want to see something crazy? Probably get demonetized for this. Let me just... When I think of the Acolyte, I think of this. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? No, turn it. No. Your focus determines your reality. Keep your mind on the present living force. open up your third eye and wash out your stinky but hole.